Hi, this is Amy. I'm currently on my phone or away from my desk. If your matter is of an urgent nature, please dial 3 to have me paged. Otherwise, please leave a message after the tone and...
Okay, so what your page greeting is you're waiting on an important call, you need to step out of your office for a minute, you can turn this on, and somebody calls you, hey, this is Jerry, I'm in the office, but away from my desk, press 3 if it's urgent to have me paged. If they hit 3, it'll page through every phone in the building, it'll page through the overhead speakers if you have it hooked up to that, or both, it's totally up to you. And what it would do is it'd say, Jerry Gordon, you have a call holding on line 1, you'd go to the nearest phone and hit line 1 and you've got that call.
So it's kind of like when you go to CVS and they're saying there is a call waiting for pharmacy, or
Yes.
we can actually basically do that through that.
Yes. I don't know if theirs may be in some type of queue.
Right.
And it's ACD where it does an auto page, which is not what we're doing. We require more human intervention to do that. It's like
But this one's just a matter, there's two different page options. Page greeting 3 is allowing them to hit your personal voicemail and choose to page you through the phones, the overhead, or both. There's another one called a auto page, which is typically for a receptionist, but anybody can use it. And when you're on a call, you just hit auto page and then someone's extension or DSS key, and then that receptionist could hang up and it would automatically do that page.
Quick page, it's everything.
Yeah, quick page.
Hey Sharon. Hello? Sharon? Hello? She's not there. Here's the application. So General Floor again has locations where they may only have one guy working the store. If he's loading a truck or unloading a truck, no one's answering the phone. So right now let's go into a general mailbox, and then if he's competent enough, we'll call the customer back. Can we now say, hey, we can get the call now to ring to that store manager's mailbox, and his greeting says, hey, if you're getting my greeting and it's during business hours, press
3 to page me.
3 now to page me.
Yep.
And then when they page, they already have paging speakers. He's on the forklift and he hears there's a call holding for you, line 3.
Yeah.
And that's like, wow, that's pretty damn cool.
I've even seen companies do unique things like smaller companies. They'll have a station or a phone with a mailbox, and they'll call in if it's after 5 and nobody typically answers the phone. He'll call that particular voicemail box, and then there it has 3 to page them. And he'll, instead of saying the person's name, he'll say something like, this is Jason, I need somebody to pick up the phone. So when he hits 3, and it'll go through that page. Instead of saying Jason Hearon, press, you have a call holding on line 1, it comes up, hey, does Jason pick up the phone? Has a call holding on line 1, and then they can pick it up that way. So people do all kinds of neat things.
So you can put their custom recording there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it really just looks at the name or extension.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay. So the next one down is, let me lean over here, is your virtual answer key. You get that?
My kid, she's at college, she'll be fine.
So basically the way this works, I'll say something like, okay, Jerry, how many times a day are you on a call and you're talking to somebody and another call comes in? Happens all the time, right? Everybody's always got calls going back and forth. So what you do is you say, hey, can you hold on a second? I got another call coming in. You flip over, hey, can I call you back, or do you want to hold? I'm on the other line. And you just play this game going back and forth all day long. Well, essentially what you can do, in your voice, you can record anything you want underneath a button called a virtual answer key. And when that person calls in on the other line, you just press it and it'll play whatever you want to say to them. So let's re-record it. You just hit virtual answer and record.
Hello, to record your greeting for this virtual answer key, press 1. To begin recording at the tone, press 1 when finished.
Hey, this is Jason. I see that you're calling in right now and your call is important to me, but I'm on the line with another customer. Hold on, I'll be right with you. So it's that simple. So here's how it works. A call comes in, and you're talking to Uniwave. What happens is when somebody calls you, watch your virtual answer key light up green when you can actually use it. So you can look in the display, you know who's calling. Doug's calling you on the other line. So you just press this button. Hey, this is Jason. I see that you're calling in right now and your call is important to me, but I'm on the line with another customer. Hold on, I'll be right with you. Just like that.
Now, is that high def as well, or is that just high def?
Just this.
Okay, you can tell the difference.
You can.
Oh, no doubt.
So if you hit virtual answer again, so what you can do is underneath virtual answer key, you can have a message saying, hold on. I could have a virtual answer 2 key that I could press and say, I apologize, this call's taking longer than expected. press 1 now to leave me a voicemail. Press extension 235 to speak to Lynn Bachman. 135 to speak to someone else. Or I can have it automatically route to somebody, and you kind of give them all those options.
Cool.
Pretty neat, right?
Yep.
Your next one down is quick page. We were just talking about that. So call comes in, and let's say I'm the receptionist here. I pick it up. How can I help you? And they say, let me talk to Lynn Bachman. I go, okay, hold on 1 second. If I just saw Lynn walk by, I can page him. I can hit quick page, the person's button, hang up.
Extension 103. You have a call holding on line 1.
So instead of saying extension 103, it would say that person's full name. They come over and hit line 1. They've got their call, release, and they're done.
So that's kind of cool because general floor corporate, they always have different people paging, and some people are really loud and some people are not so loud. So by using the quick page, we can have a consistent volume of the paging because that girl's voice is never going to change.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. And if your receptionist or whoever is extremely busy, who wants to sit there going, Lynn Bachman, you got a call on line 1. Lynn Bachman, you got a call on line 1. Now you just basically just quick page, hit it, and get on to the next call. Speeds things up, it's more
Is
professional.
there any way to customize that recording to make it repeat like you just did line you got line?
I don't think that,
No.
no.
So it is what it is.
It
You'll
is
just
what it
get
is.
the person's recorded name,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Instead of 103.
That's
You
all
have a
it's going
call
to
on line 1.
That works.
All right, so next one's your caller ID key, I believe. Let me see here.
Working his way down.
Yep, caller ID. So when you press that,
The 25 most recent calls to your station are as displayed.
it's real simple. It's going to keep the last 25 calls that came to your phone. You'll see the caller ID name, number, date, time, duration, and what you did with it. Not duration, but what you did with it. ANS means you answered it. I've brought in quite a few calls.
No more records.
But like there's that one left you a voicemail. RE means you rerouted it. MISS means you missed it. They called and hung up without leaving you a voicemail message. So it'll tell you what you did. And don't forget, you can always hit EasyDex and store them into your personal Rolodex. And you can also always hit redial anytime you have caller ID in the display, and it will always speed dial that person back. That's a cool feature because think about it, you come back, you got new voicemails, you're listening to it, redial. You go through your caller ID, seeing who's called you, redial. You can always do that.
Cool.
The next one we'll talk about your monitor mode. I'm going to come over here to this phone. Password's 2345#, and turn it on. So you'll have to excuse me, I'm going to talk over the ringing here for just a second, but I'm going to call over to Doug. Essentially the way monitor mode works is if you're in it, it turns your phone into kind of like an answering machine, essentially. Remember the old days, you walk in the front door, you hear somebody leaving you a voicemail message in the kitchen on the answer machine? You got two choices, right? You can pick it up, say, hey, I'm here, how can I help you? Or you can say, yeah, I don't want to talk to that guy, right? So essentially, if you're in monitor mode, anybody that leaves you a voicemail, you're going to hear it on the phone. Testing 1, 2, 3. So I'm leaving you a message. If you want to talk to me, you just pick it up and say, hey, I'm here. Or if you don't want to hear my voice, hit monitor again and notice you don't hear it anymore. Then when they actually hang up, it pops up as a voicemail message for you. So this is a cool feature for the this is a feature for the executives and things like that. You don't want every employee using it, but the people that need to be able to screen their calls, it's a great feature.
The speakerphone on that, was that because it's not high def, it's not a tinny, or do you think that phone might go a little goofy?
Let me try that again. Let me just call over to it real quick. Testing 1, 2, 3. It sounds a little goofy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so keep going and we'll swap it out at the end of our day.
Okay.
Another way to position monitor is you get the people that are in the hallway to finally get to their desk. You know, by the time he gets the voicemail, they've missed that call. That's not so much to screen it, so to speak. But how many people miss their call when you get to your desk and you got to wait for them to leave a message and then go back in and get it? So can I increase productivity?
We have a client, Compass Wire actually, the guy leaves his phone in monitor mode all day.
Yeah.
And this guy Chris is kind of funny, he's like, I don't really want to talk to my customer. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's so much more efficient. It goes to monitor mode, I hear what he's saying, I instantly email him back, say, got your message, it's great, everything's shipped, have a great day.
Holy
Isn't
cow.
that hysterical?
That's insanity.
He leaves his phone in monitor mode all day long.
Yeah. And at least he's using the feature, but I
Yeah.
don't know if he's keeping his customers too happy.
Exactly.
I know, right? So it was like,
He's very efficient.
We gonna talk about this today at all?
Yes, because we could be putting that in and saying, look, you can keep track of who's going in and out of the building.
All right. So this is access control, and this is something that's very unique to ESI. Door boxes have been around for years, okay? ESI didn't invent that. But we did do some unique things with this that no other telephone manufacturer in the entire industry is doing. So think about this, access control, you walk into a lot of buildings and they got a call button, right, just like this, and when you press it, it rings a receptionist or somebody's phone somewhere, and they can pick it up and buzz you in somehow, or hit a button at their desk to buzz you in. What's unique about this, first of all, is we can put it anywhere we want. So I'll use ESI as an example. At ESI, we keep all the external doors locked, front, back, side doors, and everything. So nobody's getting in the building unless you have permission. So if a customer walks up and they want in, it's that scenario. You just press it, they pick it up, they hit the door unlock key. You hear the noise, and all that's happening is it's sending a relay from this access control reader to the strike lock, and it just says unlock the door. And then when the door shuts, it locks itself back. Don't make it any harder than it has to be. Unlock and lock, that's what it does. Now for employees, this is where it gets unique. Each employee has the opportunity to, or they get a key into the building with a fob. It looks like this, or I'll have my card when they come later with my picture on it, and I'll say you can go either way. Essentially what happens is when you give the employee this fob, you basically enter this serial number into the system by waving it. And the technician, whoever's in charge of the phone system, can go in and set up the tables. I can say, okay, Jerry, this is your key into the building. And from Monday to Friday, you can get into the building from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so if you come in at 6:59 a.m., it's going to say access denied. At 7 o'clock, it'll let you in. Okay? And so we have these at ESI for all of our employees, and then I can actually set these up also internally. I can put one on the server room, so nobody needs to get in there but the IT guy. And you only need one fob. I can grant you or deny you access to all the readers, however many of these you want. So only the IT guy can get in there. At ESI, we've got a warehouse, okay? So only the guys that are boxing up phone system, whatever, can get into the warehouse. We got one on the sales demo room, where we got a $60,000, $70,000 demo room, and if I have the demo room scheduled for 2 hours, we set it up, and only I can get in there during those times. And so you kind of get the point. You can use it to restrict access wherever you want. Now the other good thing about it is I can track my employees' activities through these fobs as well. So I can see who's coming in 15 minutes early and staying 30 minutes late, who my best employees are. I can also see who's taking an extra 15 minutes for lunch every day, so I can say, okay, well, these guys are starting to take advantage of the system a little bit. I need to have a discussion with them. So that's what's great about access control. See who's coming, who's going. If something comes up missing, you can find out who was in that room at certain times and things like that. Okay.
Now, they have access control already. Can we use their cards or anything with us? Or
nope, ours are all proprietary.
All right, so.
Okay. But there's some things that our system can do, because oftentimes I'll go in and I see access control, but I know it's not capable of doing everything that ours are capable of doing. So let me give you an example. Most access control devices don't have two-way audio. So if somebody hits the button, you can buzz them in, but you typically, a lot of times, you can't have a conversation. With ours, it's got a two-way speaker, so you can actually talk to them. Now watch this. Access control that they have now isn't actually integrated with the phone system. This is something that's powerful for ESIs. It's all tied together. So if an employee leaves, watch the phone here.
Hello, this is Jay.
Put it in the end greeting. So when you leave, watch everything change. So basically what happens is it just took this person from in greeting, Amy, and put her in out greeting. Now all calls are going to her cell phone. Or if you have twinning set up, all calls are simultaneously ringing the cell phone, whichever one you want us to do. Anybody that walks by Amy's desk can see that she's off premise. Anybody that comes over here, anywhere else in the building, can actually see Amy's button is flashing orange. That means she's off premise if it's flashing. If it's a solid orange color, that means they're in do not disturb, but they're in the building. That's how powerful this is by having the access control system and the phone system tied together. Is how many times have you looked for an employee when now you could simply go, okay, Amy's out of the building when somebody calls for her. I need to try her on her cell phone. I know for sure she's gone. Okay, if it's solid and they call for Amy, Amy's eating lunch or she's in a meeting, but she is here. If it's urgent, I can page her or find her for you. I know she's in the building. So that cuts out all the hassle of trying to find where somebody's at. Amy comes back, and with the wave of a fob coming into the building, everything goes back to normal. Oh, Amy's in the building. I can find her for you. Everything goes back. Another neat thing is that is very unique is, let's say a call comes in. and they're asking for Lynn Bachman, and let's say Lynn was a smoker and he's out back smoking a cigarette and I can see him or whatever. I could simply hit transfer, 106. Hey Lynn, are you out there? Testing 1, 2, 3. That doesn't sound very good either, does it? Testing 1, 2, 3. That sounds terrible. Hello, hello, hello. So anyway, if Lynn's out there, I can say, Lynn, I've got a call for you. When I hang up,
Go get a new prison management.
see how it calls? You can actually see the caller ID
Oh, you
information.
can transfer to it?
Yeah.
It's a
Get it?
phone
You
without-
got the call?
Yeah, without a keypad.
Get out.
Hit it again, it hangs up. Their access control can't do that.
That's cool.
Yep.
It's a phone without a keypad.
The other thing you can do is time and attendance. If you got employees coming in and punching in and punching out, clocking in, clocking out, we connect with a third-party software called WASP, and works with QuickBooks or ADP. When they fob in, they clocked in. When they fob out, they clock out. So all of it's integrated. And not only that, these readers, you can have digital readers or IP readers. If you want, I can put this reader at a warehouse I have 5 miles away where I keep all the carpet and a bunch of stuff at a little side warehouse. And I can keep this over there and I can see who's coming and going over there. I can put a camera over there and associate it with our phone system so I can actually record everything that's coming and going via the camera as well. Say somebody comes over there to make a delivery and no employees are there and they hit the call button. I can pick it up and they're over there, hey FedEx, I got a delivery. I'm saying, okay, hold on, I'll unlock the door for you. I can hit a button and I can say, hey, I can see you through the camera. I'm gonna unlock the door, just put it right there inside the door and pour the door shut when you leave. He opens the door, sets the box down, doesn't shut the door all the way. When I hang up, it'll say in the display the door is still open, okay? It has a little feature on the access reader that'll let you know if the door is not shut all the way. So I can say, hey, can you come back? You didn't pull the door shut all the way. He pulls it shut, thank you. So I can do all that at a remote location. So these readers can be local, they can be remote, whatever you want to do.
Cool.
I can have an IP phone at my house, and when somebody shows up here on Saturday when you're typically closed and they hit the call button, it can call my IP phone at the house and I can unlock the door here from my house. Okay?
Wow.
So those are all kinds of cool things you can do with these. How many times do people have little side offices or remote offices, things like that? And I got 3 guys over there, but I never know. I call over there, they're never there. I show up, they're gone. They show up later. Oh, I was just getting a Coke down the street. I never know what's going on. Well, if you put a camera over there, you can watch them at any time. You can just bring it up and watch like live surveillance. You can also put an access control reader, see when they're coming or going from your phone, all those things. A lot of companies say, well, I don't need access control. We don't really need to restrict access at the front. What about the back door? Does FedEx or UPS ever show up or knock back there for 5 minutes? You don't hear them, and all of a sudden you didn't get your package that day? Well, yeah, well, you can use access control now to, when they hit the button to let them in. Just so you know, off the record, different than the carpet company, but we'll use these as profit centers, like a daycare or something like that. We'll tell them, we go in to look at a phone system and say, look, ESI is much more than just a phone system. We can actually help you win more business in your industry. And I'll say, well, how so? I say, well, people don't want to drop their kids off if they're not safe, do they? No. What you can do is you can actually put cameras up, you can put access control at the doors, you can put a call logger on the phone system. So now every parent, when they show up to get their children, they have to fob in, which we have a record of when they came and when they left. Okay, the cameras catches everybody coming in the building and leaving. But what about Lynn that calls and says, hey, my brother's going to pick up my son today, I'm okay with it. We recorded the conversation for liability reasons or concerns, and we recorded the conversation. We got cameras of him coming and going. And you can also turn it into a small profit center, because if the parents ever lose their fobs, I'm sorry, those fobs are $40 each, so every time they buy a new fob, you can make money on it.
That's great.
Yeah. You can do it at apartment complexes or something like that, and you give fobs out to all your tenants, and every time Junior goes and lifts weights and leaves his fob in there, they just made $40 on it. They hope you lose your fob so they can keep selling you new ones.
What about the WASP software? How often do you guys sell that?
Not a whole lot, but honestly, it's because a lot of people don't pitch it. When I go out on appointments,
Sure.
I sell it all the time, but for some reason our sales on it are pretty
We
weak.
finally sold it and then learned a lot about it. Because
Mhm.
there's like a junior license and then the real full-blown license, and we thought it was like, it's probably like $75. No, it's like $450.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. But it's
Yeah,
cool
but-
once you
Well,
once you
does
use
the
it,
job,
it's easy.
right? I've never seen it personally, but yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the 2 levels, just so I understand.
The one level basically like allowed you to go in and look at stuff. The other level will let you go in and sort it and say, all right, Len Bachman for the last 6 months, show me everything he's got going. Now sort that down to just Tuesdays. And they'll sort that down, just in the PM when he leaves at the end of the day. Where the other levels, like, you could see, oh, look at everything that's going on, but you couldn't really pull it
Okay,
apart.
cool. Thank you.
Really, the way I pitch ESI is an all-in-one solution, and I'll say this to the IT guys because they understand and say, look, nobody wants to do business with 4 or 5 different vendors. You don't want to have this company for your access control, this one for your cameras and your DVR, this one for your phone system. I had to go third party for a call logger to bring that in to see, and it didn't completely integrate, but it does somewhat what we need. Say ESI is very unique in the industry in the sense that we're all of those things. Okay, when you look at a Toshiba or an NEC, you're looking at a phone system. With us, it's access control, it's time and attendance, cameras, DVR, Bluetooth, cell phone integration. It's a powerful solution. The great thing about it is every aspect of all of those things we do well, and it's all integrated to work together. It comes with a 5-year warranty. It kind of goes back to the old one throat to choke philosophy. If you're happy with Liberty Communications and we're, or whatever, we're going to take good care of you. We're going to do all of these things for you. And even if you don't want cameras today or access control today or whatever, how much has your business changed in the last 8 to 10 years? 8 to 10 years ago, how do your PCs operate today that's different? At some point, you're going to want these things, and ESI does it inexpensively compared to going to a totally different vendor, and that's all they do, and they're going to try to make as much money as one because it's a one-time sale.
Let's talk about the DVR function.
Okay.
So general floor, every location, they have cameras. They're actually here. They can take the DVR out and plug the cameras into our box, and we can do the recording there.
If they're analog
They're
cameras,
analog,
they can.
Oh, there's these guys.
Is this them?
Yeah. So I'll introduce you guys, and then we'll
Get my business going.
there they are.
You might want to stop your recording for a minute.